Check it out, people. Zest for Life, aka Fresh Mark Scents. Today, I'll be reviewing a Harrods dupe. Now, I've been going through this because I really want to highlight what do you get when you pay for a um, duplicate of a niche fragrance. When you pay a low price, what do you get for it? Because fragrance industry has really bloomed and you're getting some high market upmarket scents using synthetic ingredients and lower market scents using synthetic ingredients to actually make it smell like upmarket fragrances. So you can get some that almost get the top notes of very expensive fragrances like Tropical Kiss. It has the top notes. It kind of gets it right in the first moment of Mango Kiss, and that is fantastic because it's £40 instead of £180. But what do you get for it? At the end, you get a creamy mess, which isn't really anything, but for a lot of people, that's fine because the people that are smelling it, the general public, don't know what they're smelling, so they're like, that's nice. Never heard of Mango Kiss, but that's nice. So, what am I expecting from this fragrance? Well, it is a clone of Bulgari Legemi Collection Aurum. So this is a fragrance that I was blown away by when I smelled it at Harrods. I thought, wow, this is fantastic. A green oudi scent, which is a nice vanilla and amber base. It has a sparkling amber. It has sort of Grand Savoir amber. So there was a lot of quality in this fragrance. When I checked the notes of this clone, it said that they also had an oud note, but it wasn't woody. So that was very confusing to me. So let's get this out. I've done quite an introduction, and I'm just saying that there's a lot of hope into this fragrance because it's a Harrods fragrance that is fantastic, and I smell it. But I doubt that I'm going to get what I paid for. But it was £28. So let's check out Sceptre Oceana, right, by Maison Alhambra. So this is like Paris Corner, all of these fragrances. These are clone brands. Sceptre is the clone of Aurum. So let's get it out. I haven't smelt this because, well, it was a mix of I didn't want to be disappointed and I also wanted to save the surprise if I was surprised for camera, just for you people, because I live through fragrances and this channel is part of my life and I want to include you part of that. Alright, let's get to it. I don't really care for boxes, but you get this blue thing over here, this box. Okay, so it comes up like this, comes up like that. Gold at the back, Maison Alhambra. Okay, what have we got? It looks nice. It looks nice. Let's check out the. Woo. Check out that. It's sort of like a soft. So it looks like Nuit de Izzy. That's the one. Like a granite effect. So with a blue stone. So let's get this on. I think that just went right in my nose. I'm sorry. Doesn't that smell exactly like Gaïve by Lattafa? That's not very good, is it? Pretty much bought the same fragrance twice. Smells very similar to. This goes in a Dun Elm Gold direction of sort of black saffron and rose a little bit. Oh, this is getting into a oudi leathery note now. So opens spicy cinnamon. Oh yeah, so spicy cinnamon, caraway, tiny bit of nutmeg there. You can smell the nutmeg, yeah. This oody note is the dank sour green note, which is actually pretty good. This is actually quite nice. And it's going into a leathery aspect, so I don't want to oversay this, but overquote this, but not Ombre Nomad, Ombre Leather by Tom Ford. It's got this sort of spicy, leathery characteristic that Spice Bomb Leather, they got that down right. Yeah, the little bit of spicy, fruity leather going on with this oud. It's very nice. Yes, I understand when people say it's a little bit rubbery, but that is kind of the musky, um, animalic sort of skank of the oud. It's not a woody oud though. It doesn't have any wood of the oud like your burning bahur, but I wouldn't say it's smoky, but it's spicy. I think this is kind of like well, Bulgari Man in Black is a very nice perfume because of the iris. That's what breaks up the peppery leatheriness of it and tobacco. But this is like Bulgari Man in Black spices. And then you get the amber and then you get the sort of green oud. But then it just shifts from a spicy to a green. And I like it when it's green oody with the spice, but that oud just fades away and comes back. It keeps on. I'm gonna put this hand behind me. Okay, yeah. I need to stop waving the other hand in front of me. That's why. Okay. So it's not woody, but it's green oody, which is quite strange. I mean, they should have put a woody note with it to make the oud seem more realistic. So like a dark patchouli or something, you know. But it's nice. It's nice. Does it smell rich? It has a rich, dark, spicy facet to it. I wish it was more layered. £28. I mean, if this was in your collection for £28, what else could you get? I mean, I know I got Latafa Kaid for 10, £15. I think it was £15. It's an absolute steal. This is 28, but it's different times as well. I mean, things are a little bit more expensive now, but still. Am I disappointed by it? I think the amber's shining a bit more now. It is having some kind of orange, ambery spice about it. It's starting to glow with a bit of warmth. It's starting to have a little bit of a warm glow. The kind of glow that you could get about if you added a tiny bit of ginger in here, but it doesn't have ginger. So the ambery glow is coming out now. It's still green in a tiny oody way. I understand why they put it in the notes in Fragrantica oud, but it's not a realistic oud note. It's got the animalic leather facets. It's even got a nice green facet to it, which was critical in Aurum because it's the green nature of the oud mixed with the vanilla. So it's green vanilla oud. And the oud is spiced with the nutmeg to feel like frankincense, oud, vanilla, and amber. And the frankincense effect gives it that ambery glow. But in Aurum, but in this, maybe I'm being critical, overcritical, but you have to be because I don't like when people say, oh, it's great for the price because that doesn't mean anything. If it's rubbish, it's rubbish. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter what price it is because it's a waste of money. I think I think it's not worth 28. Let's just get this out there. I think that this is worth about 10, 15. It's kind of it's the same sort of price range because I like this for the cinnamon caraway. It gives me a sort of ultra male vibe with spices, gaid. But this, what does it do for me at the price range? I'd say the amber is a nice. It's a nice amber. It's a masculine amber. It smells a little bit leathery, like Nude to Izzy. And the oud facet, it's not very skanky, but if you are new to oud, actually, no, if you're new to oud, this would be misinformation because it doesn't smell exactly like oud. It's just a light green. But as a beginner's oud, it will be used for people who don't want to use excessive oud smell and just want to dip their toes into the oud smell. They would have that green oud smell, which is cool because I think the fresh, spicy nature of it, which is the green dry down with the vanilla, makes it realistic like Aurum. So they have captured the amber of Aurum slightly, but to a lesser extent. It's not as glowing, it's a mild glow. They've captured the oud green after effect of oud, the smell of it, which is in Aurum. They have got the vanilla, which is deep because it's a benzoin and vanilla, so it has a dark vanilla characteristic to it. I quite like this. I think it's worth a little bit more. I'd say I'd probably pay £20 for this, but this was 28. So this is kind of it's a little bit there. But if I didn't have Bulgari Man in Black, this would be worth more to me. But Bulgari Man in Black, I mean, I love that fragrance. I wore it on my birthday because the iris and peppery and leathery and tobacco is fantastic. It's just that spice of it with the buttery iris just to break it up. But this doesn't have another angle. That's the thing. It has amber, it has a oud. Maybe I'm asking for too many angles. That it smells like Aurum and it does its own thing, but it's not supposed to do its own thing. It's supposed to be a clone. So as a clone, it does achieve the DNA. However, Aurum has a richer oud smell, but that's debatable because some people say it smells a bit like newer oud and not like old oud, like agarwood chips rather than oud bakur. That is the real chips that you're gonna burn and get that scent out of it. So if you want a happy medium and have some amber, which is leathery and smells, I think it smells pretty good actually. The amber and spices combination is growing on me, and the leather in the background is a nice plus because it's giving me ombre leather vibes with that spice and leather combination. And I don't want to pay Tom Ford ombre leather prices, but I mean, I may in future, I don't know. Maybe I'll go for the 150 mil if anything, but to get my money's worth. But for now, something like this is pretty good. So So now we've allowed it to dry down for 15 minutes. That's why my videos are a little bit longer, because I like to dry down and smell the scent with you. So that's why we got the spices, the oud, the green note came in, then we got the vanilla and the amber came out. And now we're starting to glow with amber, leather, vanilla, a touch of oud in the background to give it a little bit of green skankiness. Green, vanillic, oudy in terms of its green nature, and slightly spiced like ombre leather, which is fantastic. Well, what am I going to do now? Let's spray it one more time and see what happens if you overspray. Because these Arab fragrances, a lot of them, if you overspray, they'll be completely off-putting. Woo, it's coming now. Okay. Wow. So if you overspray, what comes into it? It almost smells like red tobacco by Mansura. Red tobacco. It turns into a tobacco spice. Tobacco, frankincense, and it gets smoky. So originally it's spiced and leathery, but if you spray it a lot, it gets smoky. I think this actually smells quite good when oversprayed. I'm even getting notes from the vanilla, nutmeg, and leather notes. From vanilla, nutmeg, leather, and the green facet of oud note. I'm getting a smoky vibe. Wow, sorry. A smoky vibe that's resinous, like plum. Yeah, it smells a bit like plum. So when this is undersprayed, like one or two sprays, you get amber, leather, spice, a bit of Tom Ford ombre leather. Um, it's got some nice touches to it, and you get the Aurum DNA, which is green, vanilla, amber, spices, leather. That's fantastic, guys. And when you overspray, you get smoke, vanilla, and a new note with the resinous plum and the green. It somehow merges into a dark plum note, not a jammy plum like an obvious plum, just the cool shade of the sweet first bite of a plum, like just the first bite. It's not a whole plum, it's not a jammy plum, it's not a very sweet plum, it's just a plum that is just dipped into. Just the first sweetness of that. If you smell it when oversprayed, you do get that kind of that vibe, and that's what gives me the red tobacco vibes from Mansur, which has plum in it, and the tobacco kind of scent. So the spices turn into a tobacco effect. That is actually very interesting. I'm gonna add that to my collection, which has Mercedes VIP Black, and I'm going to compare it with Mercedes VIP Black because this is spicy in a tobacco way, and Mercedes VIP is smoky. But I want to compare the smoke note. I quite enjoy the richness of this now. I think this will be fantastic when sprayed on a woolen overcoat because that's when it really permeates. So on a jacket, please don't spray it on another color jacket if it's not black. I don't want you to stain your jacket with some weird chemicals. But I would say this, it's not burning my skin, and my skin is quite sensitive. There's some perfumes that if you overspray, it is going to hurt you. So I kind of just done that test for you guys. I mean, I could have just burnt my skin. But big love to you guys because I don't want anyone to waste their money and I don't want people to burn their skin. Whatever you do, people, stay free and stay fresh. This is a fantastic budget perfume. Check out Aurum in Harrods. And I'm going to go home after overspraying this and see how many people hate me on public transport. See you on public transport, hopefully. I'm kidding. Ooh, I just got to rewind and say one more thing. I was checking out the spicy notes in Sceptre Oceana and comparing it with another fragrance that caught my memory with the scent, Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun. Now, this is a proper Harrods fragrance and this smells beautiful. I sprayed it on my hand, at the back of my hand. And of course, because it's a Harrods fragrance and it's great quality, it kind of vetoed the other scent. You can smell it over. What this has that this doesn't have, what this does have of this shares the balsamic notes. So the balsamic and spicy kind of resinous notes, it almost captures it. It almost captures the spicy notes of this. It doesn't have the vanilla of this. I know this is a vanilla perfume and it's a vanilla forward perfume and it's all about the vanilla. But this has the spicy notes of Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun. So that is fantastic. That is just... this has the resinous notes and this has the spicy notes. So check that out. That is knowledge first hand from somebody who owns that perfume. Stay fresh.